We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with.
By June, a lot of gardens are starting to look tired. Spring crops are finishing, the heat is settling in, and it's really tempting to let beds sit until fall. But in a small garden, empty space is expensive space. So today, I'm going to be showing how I keep my garden producing through the summer by using succession planting. Not in a complicated way, but in a real life, high desert, small space way.
Welcome back to Curious Greens. My name is Tammy, and today we're exploring how I keep my garden productive through summer heat by replacing crops, overlapping plantings, and planning ahead before beds go empty.
I know that succession planting sounds really fancy, but it's really just this. When one crop is finishing, I already have the next crop in mind. It's not about cramming plants everywhere, it's about keeping the garden moving.
The world outside can.
In my garden, that might look like pulling out tired spring greens and then replacing them with heat-loving crops, planting beans where something finished, or tucking in flowers and herbs so that the soil stays covered and the pollinators keep visiting.
Wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else.
Summer is not the season where I want bare soil just sitting out here baking. In the high desert, empty beds dry out faster, soil life gets stressed, and the garden can lose momentum quickly. So for me, succession planting is also a heat strategy. It helps me keep roots alive in the soil, shade on the surface, and food coming from the garden, even if the harvests look different than they did in spring.
The sun is peeking.
This is the part I want newer gardeners to really hear. Not everything is supposed to last all season. Some crops are meant to have a moment, give what they give, and then make room for the next thing.
As spring crops finish, I'm looking at what can come out, what still has life in it, and what needs support to keep going. I'm paying attention to things like, is the plant still producing? Is it struggling beyond recovery? Maybe it's shading something useful. Or could this space be better used for a summer crop?
Cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up.
When I'm choosing what comes next, I'm thinking about heat tolerance first. In summer, I'm not trying to force cool crops to behave. I'm choosing plants that actually want this kind of weather.
For my garden, that list is a decent sized. It means crops like beans, cowpeas, okra, basil, sunflowers, zinnias, melons, peppers, eggplant, and heat-tolerant herbs. Not all of them are going to go everywhere. The placement really does matter. Vining crops are going to need support or room to sprawl. And flowers, well, they can fill in the edges. And then we have quick crops. Those can tuck into smaller gaps throughout the garden.
Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be.
You know, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is that I don't have to wait until the bed is completely empty before I plant the next thing. That little overlap is where the magic really happens.
I might start seeds in trays while a crop is finishing. I might direct sow seeds near a plant that's almost done. Or I might let a new crop get established while the older crop is giving its last harvest. That way, the garden doesn't have a dramatic pause. It just keeps shifting.
Got nowhere to be.
One of my summer goals is simple. Don't leave the soil naked. Bare soil in the summer is basically a skillet, and we are not cooking the garden today. Mulch helps, living plants help, flowers help, even temporary cover can help. I just placed an order for sweet potato slips to act as a living mulch because they love the heat and they will protect my soil. For me, succession planting is also about protecting the soil while I'm protecting my harvest.
Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just laugh.
Here is what I'm not doing. I am not trying to plant everything all at once. I'm also not planting like it's still March, and I'm not treating every crop that starts to fail like the garden itself is a failure. Spring crops can be done, and that's okay. Summer gardening is different. The garden slows down in some places and it explodes in others.
Where it lies. Coffee's cold.
My simple method is this. Every time I look at a garden bed, a container, or my green stalks, I ask 3 questions. What's finishing? What can replace it? And what does this space need next? Is it food? Is it shade? Is it rest? Or is it coverage? This keeps me from panic planting, because panic planting is how we ended up with 17 mystery seedlings and no walkway. Not doing that again.
But we take a sip, talk about nothing. Let the morning.
If your garden is starting to shift right now, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means that the season is changing. Succession planting is how I keep working with the season instead of fighting it. Some plants are going to finish up, some plants are going to take over, and some need a reset. And guess what? There are also going to be some spaces that are going to surprise you. That's the beauty of growing food at home, and I absolutely love it. The garden is always going to be teaching you how to keep going.
Friends, thank you once again for stopping by Curious Greens today. It was a pleasure having you as always. If this content was exciting, fun, enjoyable to you, please like, share, and subscribe. Curious Greens is the place where we are growing with the earth and we are finding our roots together. Until next time, bye now.